So this is a video follow-up to my last video on the p7000 and how I believe it's a Oneplus Two killer. And I said that because the specs are pretty similar. So in this video I'll be comparing mostly just the hardware and not so much the software because they're both Android and you can customize them whichever way you want to. One thing to note is that the p7000 cost me $220 shipped to my house in Canada, and the Oneplus Two, not so much. On the website it costs $479 Canadian, and a lot of that is our currency exchange rate right now. But after customs and shipping, I paid almost $600 for this phone. Very different from the previous $360 for the Oneplus One. Keep that in mind as I go through the p7000's features. Fingerprint scanner on the back, power button on the right hand side, volume rocker on the left hand side. On the top is your micro USB and headphone jack, which is kind of nice to have micro USB in this day and age since everyone's moving over to USB Type-C. On the bottom, microphone and speaker grill, and on the front you have 3 capacitive buttons, left and right, and the center one doubles as your LED notification light. The fingerprint scanner is not bad. The Oneplus 2's fingerprint scanner is better. The iPhone's fingerprint scanner is much better. On the back you take out the battery and you have access to your 2 nano SIM card slots and your 1 micro SD card slot, and the back panel has NFC and you can swap out the batteries. Switching over to the Oneplus 2, the fingerprint scanner on the back, as I mentioned, is better than the p7000's. The build quality is more superior. The sandstone finish on the back is fantastic. Volume and power rockers on the right hand side, and on the left hand side you have access to your 3 toggle switch, which goes to alarms only at the top, middle is vibrations only, and at the very bottom is all notifications allowed. On the bottom you have USB Type-C and microphone and speaker grills. The first thing I did was go onto eBay and grab a micro USB to USB Type-C adapter for about $1.50. I recommend you do the same if you're getting this phone. And on the back you have the sandstone finish, your camera, and the back panel does come off, but it's mostly for aesthetic purposes. You can't swap out the battery or anything like that, but you have access to your 2 nano SIM cards. Both back panels are pretty good build quality and they are swappable, but the p7000 has NFC, which the Oneplus 2 does not. As far as outdoor legibility goes, the p7000 is not the greatest, but again, $220. I feel like I'm using that a lot as an excuse, and keep that in mind. On the Oneplus 2, it's a little bit better than the p7000, definitely more functional, but I mean it's not a whole lot better. As far as gestures go, both phones do screen off gestures. Draw a C on the p7000 and input your fingerprint, which is kind of stupid, and the camera pops up, which is kind of slow. More on that in a second. On the Oneplus 2, you simply make the gesture and the camera pops open much faster, making it a lot more usable. As you're pulling it out of your pocket, you can draw the gesture. Speaking of the cameras, however, the Oneplus 2's camera is not bad, but that's only because the p7000's camera is shit. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of lighting conditions I'm in, the p7000's camera always just sucks. Like, you might as well not even use it. It's not even good enough for Instagram. Actually, it's kind of like a filter, so maybe, yeah, use it for Instagram only. Overall, I'd say the p7000 is a good burner phone. If you need something temporary to use while your other phone's being repaired, or maybe you dropped it in water or something, for $220 in Canada, that's not bad. It's even cheaper in the US, so maybe grab it just to keep on the side. The Oneplus 2 is not bad. Only thing I can say is for about $600 in Canada, I can grab a Galaxy S6 Edge, so I'm almost more inclined to do that, if not to try something new. But if you want something more budget friendly, maybe even grab a Oneplus One, which is here on the right hand side. Off of OnePlus, they're about $350. Off of Kijiji, probably $300, and they're still great phones. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick review, and I'll see you guys in the next one.